Alright, here we go. This is a custom 1v1 on Duel between the blue player in the upper left, mrnoone1 in the brand new Pax Helix, and his opponent, the green player in the bottom right, FriskyCow in the Black Ops Striker. And this is a special game. mrnoone1 has been hosting quite a lot of lobbies called No Meta, and FriskyCow does look like he's going Striker with lunch boxes, and emphasis on the lunch boxes, which is a little bit, well, not just a little bit, pretty darn hilarious to me, honestly. And now just decides to socket another lunchbox, because really, why the hell not? mrnoone1 going with a pretty typical moneymaker build, but does have Longhorn instead of Gemini. Clearly that is not, and all goes to harass, sees nothing, and is like, oh, okay, bye. And actually does get chased down by FriskyCow. Will Frisky be able to get the finish here? And trying to get that land, and does get mrnoone1 on the ground. And mrnoone1 does get finished off, but still dramatically ahead because of the moneymaker. So let's see if FriskyCow can actually make this lunchbox fixer, seeker, heavy mine, zipper, Longhorn, runner, Bucky loadout work, as opposed to mrnoone1's moneymaker jammer. Pretty normal there. Longhorn, seeker, soldier, jackal, ladies and gentlemen, jackal, which is definitely not normal. Artie, not Archie, and Ratchet. Ratchet being one of the more difficult units in mrnoone1's loadout, and FriskyCow with quite a lot of zippers there on the side. My God, this is such a strange game. You know, I mean, not necessarily strange, like strange things are happening, but it's just so dramatically different compared to anything that you really have seen in the last 2 months, give or take. And now mrnoone1 with, oh, he also has zippers. Oh no, that was a UI problem there. That was actually Longhorn. And now FriskyCow just stacking as many zippers as he can. Zippers kind of take a lot longer to build than you know, you would think they should, kind of, if you want to use them the way that you kind of need to. Now he is doing a mass send. Whether or not he's going to switch to T, I don't know. Whether or not it actually matters is another thing also, because they are going to go straight to the fort. And to be honest, zippers do a lot of damage to forts, but Frisky has switched to T. mrnoone1 now responding to it, dropping a lot of Longhorn, but this outpost is, oh, I was about to say it's almost definitely going to go down to neutral, but the zippers don't really do that much damage to level 4 creeps. But actually it has gone down neutral pretty quickly, and the runners that spawned from the zippers haven't been able to take it. mrnoone1 going to try to neutralize this outpost with jackals. Probably not going to be super successful. FriskyCow pretty much just has to abandon those zippers. Going to go for the fort. Okay, probably the right decision. He's going to get a little bit of damage, and if he can get a good spread after that, he will probably be able to do a fair amount of damage and take a lot of mrnoone1's time. mrnoone1 doesn't have any bombs, though. His only AoE is an artillery, so let's see if this actually takes him. He's already taken out like a good 1/10 of his health, even more now. It's getting closer to like 20%, which is a little hilarious. The zippers have, for the most part, been finished off. FriskyCow has abandoned his attack there at that close outpost, and now mrnoone1 has been able to retake it. Gonna send out those jackals that he just built, but FriskyCow now with a massive long run. Mass is probably not the right word, but 4. Well, however, whatever word you want to describe for that, does set off light mines in precaution to those, you know, to those Longhorn moving out. Now those jackals are set on attack, never switched, never stopped, and now mrnoone1 gonna be able to get mid. You know, that's a lot of Longhorn, so easily going to be able to take it. FriskyCow going to be forced to drop, well, going to drop a heavy mine. It's not really going to be in time. Those jackals move really, really quick. mrnoone1 with pretty good surround on mid. Those Longhorn that are sent by FriskyCow are pretty much just going to be completely massacred. There's definitely enough distract units over there. Frisky trying to slash and kill something, but yeah, his Longhorn are pretty much dead now. Once again, going with the zipper attack, queuing up runners this time, which is a little hilarious to see. The Longhorn aren't going to be able to, well, going for lunchbox, straight for lunchbox. Lunchbox does go down. A couple jackals here for mrnoone1, and he will probably win this fight, as the Longhorn plus the jackals are definitely going to be substantial compared to what Frisky has on the ground, which is pretty much zippers, and like I think he had maybe 1 or 2 tanks or something like that, but they are dead if they ever existed to begin with. But now mrnoone1 continuing his attack. Longhorn coming out, more and more jackals being sent. What the hell are these 2 dots here? A Bucky and a Longhorn. Sure, man, why not? Now FriskyCow coming out with Buckies, putting them out of the Longhorn range, but within their own range, so that is pretty awesome. Gonna put down another lunchbox, gonna not necessarily prevent the outpost from being neutralized, but the outpost, or I guess the tank is gonna focus on the lunchbox first. With how relevant that is, you know, meh. But yeah, mrnoone1 does is pretty much easily winning this battle, 29 to 23. However representative those upkeep numbers are at this point, I can't really say how representative they are. but because, I mean, a lot of FriskyCow's units are zippers. Now, mrnoone is sending for that D-capture, going for that forward, but a lot of units being spammed out by FriskyCow. He is going, oh man, he's going Tycho Striker. What the hell? I guess that ground speed for that sword is pretty great, I guess. mrnoone going Alien Helix. Something I used to do, actually, pretty close to it, actually. I used to go kind of scout here, which is pretty close. I mean, transform speed and the flight efficiency with scout is definitely different. But, you know, Alien, you know, obviously with that, the abduct bonus. Not necessarily the first choice for Helix pilots for most players, but now Frisky dropping some zippers down for distraction fire. I mean, Longhorn are still going to be firing, though, so it's not really going to be that substantial. The patrolled zippers are pretty awesome, but the Longhorn definitely going to be enough to cause too much trouble for Frisky here, and I doubt he'll be able to actually hold this forward outpost. Buggies are down for FriskyCow. So now mrnoone bringing even more and more Longhorn, queuing up Jackals. Oh my god, this is such a beautiful game. It's just like it was before, when light units and heavy units used to be mixed together. Oh, good old days. And now FriskyCow still trying to hold on. I mean, the units from mrnoone haven't really been prioritizing on this outpost. If they have, or if they were at pretty much any time, if he set these units on T, FriskyCow would have pretty much been done at this point, and he would have to pretty much fall back to his close. And randomly picking up a Longhorn there, was that a Longhorn or was that a UI glitch? Either way, okay, there is a Longhorn there, so that probably was correct. But now this outpost will go down to neutral, and FriskyCow will have to start pulling back. He did get finished off in the air by a Hunter Seeker. And now mrnoone with pretty much all the unit advantage here, 33 to 15. And your post too close, TT, crying face, mrnoone. Gonna easily be able to take this close outpost. Gonna go for the forward attack, actually. Screw that forward, don't need it. Oh, he might actually, he did scout this close, so he might just do a switch to T. FriskyCow does kind of sense that. Gonna drop some zippers. Okay, yeah, distraction patrol is definitely the way to go at this point. He does have some heavy mines, but will mrnoone switch them to T? He is not here to do that. He did a scout on the close and everything. I'm not really sure why he's not prioritizing, but he's not, keeping that switch to T in mind. And, okay, instead just going to ferry some Longhorn over. Definitely will be enough to do the job. FriskyCow doesn't really have anything left here, but now is sending out some, okay, sending and stopping, sure. But Longhorn now out for FriskyCow. Definitely enough to win this battle. Well, probably enough. The problem is mrnoone is distracting those Longhorn fire. FriskyCow is winning in terms of ground forces, the ground attack forces, because mrnoone has a lot of Seekers back there. But, oh man, look at all the Seeker missiles almost finishing FriskyCow. But now easily going to be able to, well, not easily, but he is going to be able to get this defense up. Going to do a counter push with some Longhorn. mrnoone with pretty much nothing left on the field, actually. He's wasted all those units in pushing out to that fort, and it's 26 to 29. He's pretty much lost all of his unit cap. Now starting to rebuild his army, but FriskyCow, okay, he did set these on captures. They are going for this forward, and easily going to be able to, easily, I keep using that word, but he's going to be able to distract his Longhorn, so his Longhorn can actually approach. As long as you just run around Longhorn, you're pretty much safe. Just keep moving, keep slashing, keep that shield up if you're a striker. However, mrnoone dropping a lot of defensive units here with those Helix rockets, forcing FriskyCow back. So now he will be able to finish off all the units that Frisky has moved out, and now just with more zippers. Let's see if he, gonna go for the other side push, but mrnoone probably not gonna allow that directly. Oh, FriskyCow does grab that other box. That box is still there, actually. When that spawned, who cares? I was told that it has recently changed to 430, but who can believe that, honestly, because stuff changes a little too often at this point. mrnoone now going for that finish. That's a lot of Longhorn, but FriskyCow has a lot of zippers going straight for mrnoone's fort, and a lot of them will survive. They move fast. They move damn fast, and FriskyCow will be able to just slash at the back of these tanks. There's one Seeker in defense here from mrnoone, so he's not going to be able to get the finish. And FriskyCow has enough defenses here. Oh, where did the zippers go? A couple of them have, one of them made them to the fort. I don't know how many survived that approach, but now FriskyCow on his last leg here has lost that last close outpost, just has the back corner post at this point, which is surprisingly, not really, protected by a lunchbox, but grabs the other box. Oh my god, mrnoone probably just didn't really care about it, to be honest, and Frisky was gonna sell it at his close, but he didn't really realize he was, that it was not under his control anymore, so, but that box will be able to, will let him produce 1.5, give or take, Longhorn. Right, they are like 6,000, right? Yeah, so give or take 1.5 Longhorn, 1 and 2/3, 1 and 1/3, sorry. But now mrnoone with a lot of Longhorn moving out from his fort, but FriskyCow a little bit closer in terms of the fight, but it's close. And has a lot of Longhorn, will be able to take this back. But Mr. Owen, I mean, you know, he does have the moneymakers down on the field. He has the upkeep advantage with the map control in the outposts. And at this point, FriskyCow trying to take back this post. Okay, the neutralization has been successful, but a lot of the patrolling jackals are, you know, those patrolling fast units are super awesome. And now Mr. No One's line of Longhorn are making their way to this fort. Will Mr. No One switch them to T? I think at this point it would be a bad idea, but FriskyCow finishing off Mr. No One in the air. Mr. No One not spamming the respawn button, which would probably be a good idea at this point. You know, cancel 1 or 2 Longhorns, spam the respawn, get a better surround here, or switch those Longhorns to T. However, he is pretty much winning here. That defense here, I didn't really notice, but this defense here has pretty much shut down FriskyCow's tanks, and FriskyCow now is being pushed back, way back to this fort, and Mr. No One just has to bring out these last. That outpost was not under his control, and now he is sending out those creeps. Will be able to take them, but at this point, it's not really that much of a concern. However, you know what's a little hilarious is the upkeep numbers are pretty much the same. It's 23 to 29, so it's different, but it's not like hugely different. So the game, in terms of units on the field, is pretty even for both sides. A lot of the units actually are taken up by heavy mines, kind of scattered all over the place for FriskyCow. He does have 4 of them out on the field, so you can think of it as more like 14 or 16 to 29 at this point. Mr. Owen actually almost getting finished off in the air with a 10 to 11 in terms of level, so it's a little crazy to see at this point. We're at 11 minutes into the game, and with no money makers on FriskyCow's side, it's a little crazy to see that he's been pretty much able to keep up with Mr. Owen in terms of levels. However, Mr. Owen with an overwhelming number of tanks right here, and will probably soon easily be able to get the finish. Although FriskyCow does have a lunchbox, Mr. Owen has way too many tanks. 12 to 35 more. Oh wow, able to triple carry Longhorn at level 11 at this point. Frisky trying to soften up what he can, but does get finished off by the Hunter Seeker on the ground, and this is going to be GG. Mr. One, yes, gonna set everything to attack. Leapfrog OP, and definitely OP. Helix, that carry, and that is going to be it. Mr. No1 taking this non-meta, not dramatically non-meta on Mr. No One's side. I mean, the no money makers on FriskyCow's side was just ridiculous. Lunchboxes instead of money makers, zippers, freaking fixers, runners and buckies. Not something that you've seen in a long time, if ever. But Mr. No One grabbing this custom 1v1 on Duel. Nice little derpy game. This is, I don't know, is this a pro derp? Either way, kind of entertaining. And fun little 11.5-minute game. All right, guys, if you play anything that's non-meta, I want to see it, because I'm super tired of the meta. I'm so tired of the meta. Stuff has to change. So send me some non-meta games. I need to be entertained, guys. Entertain me. All right? All right. Thank you so much. This is RUI, and that is game. See you next time.